this is Barbie. So I am making this video because I wanted to talk about the 21-day fix eating plan, the actual whole book. And I've heard some people say that it's confusing. The light is kind of weird, that it's a little bit confusing and they don't know where to start. And I looked through it, and actually I have to say that it's actually pretty simple. But I can understand if you think that it's hard because you haven't been eating clean and these are all new concepts, okay? But my first advice for you is, if you're starting this, just take a deep breath and don't start the day that you get the program. You really do need to sit with your little book and with the containers and just read through it, okay? So each container corresponds to a food group, okay? So for example, the green containers are for your veggies, and the higher up on the list, the better they are for you, right? So that's just an example. And then you have the purple containers with the fruit, okay? And the red containers with the meat. Now, I'm looking at this and I would get rid of tofu because I think tofu is not good for you. And then veggie burgers, be very careful because soy is not good for you either, okay? But if you stay on the top, you're totally okay. So guess what? And the blue container is for fats. For example, avocado, cashews, and this is great. The blue container is actually tiny, and I can tell you that I go into the kitchen and I just friggin' grab a bunch of cashews, and I eat way too many cashews, which my fiance has told me that causes constipation and indigestion. TMI, but it's kind of true, right? So I better chill on the cashews. And actually the orange containers, they're also fats, but it's for seeds, such as like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, sesame seeds. What's really cool about this eating plan is that they don't want you to deprive yourself. And so this eating plan also includes fun recipes and treats. I'm like drooling just thinking about the treats. I'm looking for the treats. So you can make your own treats. So for example, double chocolate cookies, I have not made them. And you get one serving cookies, one serving, and so that would be one cookie. The plan says that you're allowed 3 little treats per week, just as you are allowed 3 little tiny containers. I didn't bring my containers to my office of wine. But here's the deal. If you are someone that has self-control, do it. I can tell you that if I'm really, like right now, you know, listen, if I want a piece of cake, and it's kind of funny because I've got a piece of sweet potato on my table that I'm eating. I know I'm funny. But, you know, now I'll have a cookie. I'm not trying to lose weight, right? and I don't feel like I have any food addictions anymore, and that I don't really struggle with like, oh my God, I need this scarcity. I'm dieting, you know? So you're not dieting. And so this is what you're creating a lifestyle. And so this is why the 21-day fix allows you to have a treat. However, if you are an emotional eater, if you really struggle with, you know, these treats, it's probably not a good idea for you to make 15 servings of cookies, right? Because you might eat them all at once. Or every time you go to the fridge, you might eat 3 of them. And so you jeopardize your results. So, you know, take this advice with a grain of salt, and only you know you, okay? When I first started losing weight, I did have 1 glass of wine per week, and I was able to do that. But I don't have like a wine addiction. I just wanted a glass of wine, you know? But I could say that I had a chocolate addiction and a sugar addiction probably. Anyway, the recipes are really wonderful. And one thing that I see that can be confusing and that I wanted to shed some light on, and this video is already 4 minutes, I'm looking for it, is, okay, you have a guideline, like a baseline, a guideline on how many calories you're going to be consuming, right? So you're not actually counting calories with the containers, but it gives you a formula. I'm not going to go into the formula. You take your weight times 11, then add a certain number of calories. And if you want to lose weight, you subtract calories. It's super easy. Don't let that confuse you. And then, you know, so for me, if I wanted to lose weight, which I don't, I would eat anywhere from 1,200 to 1,499 calories, right? So you don't have to count calories. It just tells you how many of the green containers, how many of the purple, how many of the red, how many of the yellow, how many of the blue, and how many of the orange, and how many teaspoons of oil to have, right? And so that's where I'm like, I can understand someone who is really new, why that would be confusing. But just think of it this way, and this is my tip. I hope I can make sense of it. Okay, so for breakfast, if you like to eat fruit and a little protein, right? In general, okay, so breakfast, fruit, some kind of carbohydrate and protein. So the fruit would be in the purple container, the protein would be in the red container, okay? You might want to take some notes on this if you're confused about this, right? So breakfast could be red container, purple container. What I recommend for lunch and dinner, right, would be red container protein, green container for the vegetables, right? And you just see how many you have per day. So you might actually have to have take a piece of paper and say, okay, breakfast, I like to have oatmeal. So that belongs in a yellow container, and I want to have protein with my breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then my lunch is going to be veggies and some kind of lean protein, maybe a little carb. I personally, because I've heard Siggy say this, I believe that you can have, it's total BS that you shouldn't eat a burger, with French fries at 10 o'clock at night before you go to sleep. But you can have a little meal at night. So that's really not a problem. But anyway, think about what you like and, map it out. So lunch, veggies, and some kind of protein with a little bit of carbs. And so that's a red container for the protein. Did I say green container for the veggies and yellow container for the carbs? And then you go to your little chart and you see how many you're allowed per day. For example, in my calorie range, you're allowed 2 little containers. My 2 little yellow containers would probably be taken up after breakfast and lunch, because that's what I normally do. I have my starchy carbs in the morning and then at lunch. And then it says green containers. So for veggies, you get 3 of those, right? For the 1,299 calories. That would probably be my lunch, and, maybe I'll double up for dinner. And then my purple is 2 fruit. Sometimes I like fruit, sometimes I don't even eat fruit, so I might not even eat that, And then I forgot what blue is. Blue is, my addiction with the cashews. Okay, so then I would get just 1 little blue container of cashews, and I can tell you I have a lot more than that. Anyway, you guys, this little guide is super simple. I wanted to just go over it. And then also, I am starting my 21-Day Fix Challenge group on the 12th, and it's going to be rolling in through the 19th of January, so you can join. It's for anyone that does not have a coach. I would be happy to coach you, and you can message me at info@Barbie Decker. The requirements for the challenge are that you have that you buy the 21-Day Fix, and that you are on Shakeology for the duration of the challenge. It's for 21 days, and I have to be your coach in order to do that, because I get so many requests, to be in my group, but I really want to be able to focus on my customers, because, I can't spread myself around, individual attention to thousands of people, right? So, okay, guys, have a beautiful day, and I really look forward to seeing you in my challenge group. And if you're not in my challenge group, that's okay. I hope that this video was helpful. Have an awesome day. Bye.